Hey everybody, I'm the multi-voice reviewer. I have many voices, but one opinion.
Today's, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be doing a theory this time. And this theory is going to be, which I had to say, it's been a long time since I ever did this, a crossover theory. Now, today's theory was something I was planning to do years ago after I did Chucky. And since I know some of you pretty much love my Chucky review, I decided to do a certain crossover which I had in mind for years. And this crossover theory will be nothing more but Chucky versus the Puppet Master. Now, I usually don't do crossover fights. Well, except that time when I did a crossover theory about Mortal Kombat versus, well, Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. But most of my crossover theories are just characters from different universe meet together for the first time and then start working together. But before I'm going to do this crossover theory, here is one thing. If you guys remember watching one of my reviews, I did reviewed years and years ago the Puppet Master. Still had the DVD, all nine Puppet Master movies, from the Puppet Master 1 all the way to Puppet Master 9, X's of Evil. And of course, the crossover review I did called Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys. You know what? Since it's been so long, a lot of things been happening with the Puppet Master since then. Sadly, folks, I didn't print out any pictures of them because I didn't think about it. Sometimes when I'm trying to print out some pictures, I keep forgetting what I was supposed to print out next. But here's a little update. I'm going to tell you about them and look them up. I mean, after the Axis of Evil, their 10th movie they made back in 2012 was Puppet Master X, X's Rises. On X's Rising, it's about a group of Nazis who stole one puppet from the Puppet Master during World War II, and now the Nazis are using the puppets to make their own puppets. And they have their own Nazi puppets. And then they made another one in 2017 called Puppet Master X's Termination, where things are getting a little out of hand. Like, I see a girl with their serum for fingers, syringes with serum inside them for fingers. Kind of reminds me of that scene from the Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. And then after they did X's Termination, they decided to do sort of like a remake movie in 2018. It's more like a remake, but very different. And it's starring the same actor who was in Reno 911. You know, the one who played Sheriff Dangle, the one who wears the short shorts. Hello, my name is Sheriff Dangle, and I want you to know, just because I wear these short shorts, it just makes me more flexible. You know, kind of like a cougar. And it's not often you see him in that movie. And one thing I also noticed, all these Puppet Master movies was created by Full Moon. Well, except Anchor Bay did that crossover of Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. But this final Puppet Master movie they made, Puppet Master The Littlest Reich, was created by Fangoria. Now, I remember Fangoria, those gory magazines. They're supposed to be like more advanced to the horror monster movie stuff. Now, tell you the truth, I'm not really into Fangoria. It's true, I'm not really into Fangoria. Because, folks, I mean, one time when I was in Blockbuster before Netflix had them all shut down, I remember I was browsing through one of the Fangoria magazines, and let me tell you something, it made me sick. It made me want to pass out. I mean, I know some of you people kind of think of me as this oddball, kind of a weird kind of guy, but there's one thing you should know about me. I can't stand gore. I hate and can't tolerate blood, guts, and gore. I'm not that dark. I'm not that edgy. I mean, when it comes to horror, I prefer something that just, you know, something that goes bump in the night. But anyway, now that update has been done, get to Chucky versus the Puppet Master. Now, I know some of you people are wondering which Puppet Master am I referring, because each and every Puppet Master movie tells a different story. Well, I'm thinking about taking... I decided to take the modern one. Well, sort of a modern one, but it's the one about this guy named Chris who meets these puppets, and now he becomes their new puppet master, and the spirit of the original puppet master, Andre Toulon, he, his soul is in this brand new puppet he made called the Capitrantor. It's something like that. He's the one who keeps changing his head from one head to the next. And of course, the spirit of Toulon contacts Chris. Anyway, ever since Chucky became evil, and it doesn't matter which Chucky. I mean, heck, I can even take the one from the last Chucky movie and not the remake. The Cult of Chucky. One of the Chucky evil dolls would be like, "Ha, it's feel good to be out and about. Now, let's see if there is something I can do around here." Huh? What's this? Toulon puppets? A puppet who can make... A puppet master who can make his puppets come to life? I should check that out. And all of a sudden, Chris and his puppets are trying to clean up the Toulon mansion area. And then all of a sudden, Chucky showed up. Hi there, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Forget that, Chris. I'm Chucky. And I want to check out your puppets. And when Chris saw Chucky, Chris was like, "Puppets, go!" And all of a sudden, Chucky kept going one-on-one with all the puppets. Blade, the one with the hook in one hand and the blade in the other, he kept swinging the hook and the knife and going like, "Hey, like your style, Trenchcoat. I tried having a knife in one hand, but instead I got an air hose in my mouth. Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then Blade sort of cut him on the side, going like, "Ah, you little a-hole!" And then Pinhead shows up, and it was like, "Your head, you're so much like a pin." And then Pinhead punched him. "Ah, little buzzard! Ah!" And then Jester shows up and was like, "And what do you do?" And of course, the Jester kept twirling his head. "Your head keeps spinning." Ah! Yeah, the Jester has that little, well, let's just say he has a little dagger. And then Miss Leech shows up and he was like, "Oh, great. I had a female doll once, and she was a real witch. What can you do?" And of course, Miss Leech just, well, carf up a leech. "Ew! Good God, lady, you have issues!" And then the leech jumped right on top of Chucky, going like, "Ah! Get this leech off me! Oh, ah!" And then all of a sudden you come across Six Shooter, the cowboy with 6 arms who carries little pistols. He's going like, a 6-armed cowboy. I wonder you're related to Woody. And then Six Shooter aimed his gun and then fire. Ow, 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 ow. Dang it. Ain't the first time I got shot. And then all of a sudden Tunneler showed up and he aimed on his leg. Chucky tries to swing his blade at Tunneler. It only cut his suit, but didn't do anything. Man, you guys are made of wood. No wonder I can't kill you. That's right, Chucky. Us and the puppets can stand any forces of evil you bring us. Oh yeah? Well, bring this! And then he tossed his blade, and it stabbed Chris right in the leg. And then here comes the coup de grace. Torch showed up. You know, the flame-throwing puppet. He was like, and what is it you're gonna do, Trinchy? Alright, puppets, let's give him the coup de grace. And then all the puppets just toppled right on top of him, and Chucky's like, no, get off of me, you little wooden piece of junk! Ah! And of course, Blade finally stabs him, while Pinhead whamming at him, going like, and blah blah blah. And then Chucky was like, oh, I always thought I could kill you guys, so I could be the only living doll around here. I know I shouldn't deal with Annabelle. Ugh. And that is the end of Chucky vs. Puppet Master. Sorry this is a little long. I mean, I had a lot of thought, and, I mean, I'm trying to visualize how it's all going to happen. But this is Chucky vs. the Puppet Master for you. Oh, and a little bit more update that I didn't mention in my review of the Puppet Master. For those of you who haven't seen the Puppet Master, for those of you who haven't seen my Puppet Master review, I'm going to send a link in the bottom. So, you can stop this video and check this movie out. Oh, here's something I should have done. You know, this crossover theory would have been a lot better if I bought the action figures of the Puppet Master and a Chucky doll. But here's another thing I did not mention in the Puppet Master franchise, that not many people know that the franchise still goes on even today. Like, for instance, if you ever go to any of your comic book store, you can find a comic book of the Puppet Master. This here's the first issue. Except these Puppet Masters, they always have, you know, risque women posing sexually in these covers. But they kept making new comic books where it doesn't focus about any woman, but just a puppet. And that there was Six Shooter. And of course, another thing I also heard, that they made a downloadable video game of the Puppet Master, where Toulon starts communicating with the puppets, and you're playing the puppet, sneaking around the house. And here's the video game they made now. I mean, you can easily find it online, probably upload it and enjoy it any way you can. Well, that is my review of the Puppet Master, and my update review of the Puppet Master, and my crossover theory of Chucky vs. Puppet Master. Those of you who likes my update of the Puppet Master, or my crossover theory, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe for more reviews, and share it on Facebook and whatever. As for me, I gotta think of what my next review is gonna be. Well, this is Multi-Voice Reviewer. Later, dudes.